Welcome back, Wogglers. So today we're still talking about Zoho Campaigns, and we're going to be specifically discussing topics. What are they, why you should use them, and all that fun stuff. So this one may get a little bit rambly because we're talking about different philosophies on how you treat your marketing efforts. But I'll do my best to kind of go over everything here without going on too many tangents. All right, so the first thing you'll do is go into Zoho Campaigns, which usually takes you to your dashboard. And then on the left-hand side here, underneath Contacts, you'll hit Manage Topics. So basically, the first thing that you need to decide when you're setting up your topics is what type of company you have, how many products you offer, and then how you would like to set up the different marketing campaigns that you might have. Now, usually when you first set up topics, this little like pop-up happens, and you can click that Learn More, where the Zoho has written a pretty nice article that goes in depth into this. I've already opened that up because they do have these really nice little icons here that demonstrate my point. So you have two different ways to set up your topics. And so there's a brand topic and a brand product topic. So, and that has to do with your company and what you sell. So the brand topic is basically you have a company, and you kind of you sell one thing, I guess, if that makes sense. So let's say, for an example, you just have a store, right? You probably sell lots of different products in your store, but that's the only thing that you do. You have a store and you are selling things. That's going to be a brand topic setup. And the reason for that is because you're not going to need to break down any further in the hierarchy any emails that are your monthly newsletter, any coupons, latest offers, blasts about sales that you're going to be having, that sort of thing. It's kind of just like it's you have a one thing, and then you break it up into different marketing topics, if you will. The other option that you have is this brand product topic, and that would be, so the pretend company that I've made in my previous videos is a company that makes adventuring backpack kits and sells those, but also does adventuring tours. And so those two things would, in this case, be considered two different topics, because I wouldn't market to the tour company the same way that I would market to the adventuring kit selling part of my business, right? So in that example, I would use this brand product topic setup here. And so it would be, our company, and then we would have, in my example, I would have a product for my tour company, and then a product for my adventuring kits, and then we would have topics underneath those of latest trends, sales, monthly letters and offers, that sort of thing. So that's the overarching difference in the two ways that you can set this up. Right out of the gate, out of the box, you have at least one topic, and it's your marketing topic. Now, the thing to remember here is what you're really trying to do with these topics is multifaceted, but you're trying to lower the amount of unsubscribes that you get from your marketing efforts, and you're also empowering your end users to be able to manage their preferences. They can go in there and say, I'm not interested in any of your tours, but I love your adventuring gear, and so I would love to know when you're having sales or when you have new items. That's kind of, it gives them the power to decide how they want to be marketed to you, or marketed to, rather. All right, so to go in here and do this, we're going to use the second one, the brand product topic. And so our product name is, we're going to say tours, adventure tours. Save. So that's my first product. And then I'm going to add a new product, and this is going to be adventure kits. We're just going to do you can go into more depth. The reason that you might go into more depth about these two things is that when people go and click their manage preferences, those little descriptions will show. I'll show you that here in just a little bit, but I want to show you how to add topics to each one. Okay, so now that we've got our two products in our organization, now we can add more topics to them. So for this example, in our tours, we'll have kind of a generalized marketing topic, and then we could do sales, specials for tours, and then we'll do another one where it's new destination alerts. Again, oops, oh no, there we go. So there we go. So we got a couple of made for our tours, and now for our adventure kits, we'll have one that's going to be, we'll do another one where it's sales for kits. And then we'll do, maybe for our adventure kits, we'll do a monthly newsletter. And that sort of thing. I could go through and make a bunch more, but this is boring. Okay, so now we've got our different breakdown here. And I'm gonna hit this preview button in the top right corner. And this is a little preview of what the end user would see. So we can edit this, and again, I'll show you how in just a second, but we put our brand name and our brand description, and then they have this lovely little select the newsletters you'd like to receive, which again, you have full autonomy to be able to change that. And then the end user can come in and choose like sales for adventure kits, but maybe not the monthly newsletter. And definitely I want to know about the new destinations for the tours. And then they can save their preferences. What this allows you to do when you're sending out your emails and your marketing campaigns is instead of directly putting an unsubscribe link on the bottom of your emails, you can put a manage preferences. That will take them to this page, which encourages them to perhaps continue receiving some emails from you, but maybe not everything. And then they always, if somebody really doesn't want to receive emails from you at all ever again, they'd click this, if you want to stop receiving emails, click here, right? And that would allow them to do that as well. So they still have the option to unsubscribe. One thing that's really important to remember is that if someone unsubscribes, that means they're unsubscribing from your entire Zoho organization. Meaning, if you have automated emails going out from your CRM to close deals, they will not receive those if they've unsubscribed. Now, you can change those settings in the sync. So if you've got the sync set up from Campaigns to CRM to not pass that information when they unsubscribe in Zoho Campaigns, you can do that. But if you do have it pass through that information, that means it's going to be unsubscribed in the CRM as well. So it's just something to kind of keep in mind and be careful with. Double check your sync settings if that's something that you don't want to happen. And this, that, and the other. The other thing to keep in mind is that when you're creating campaigns, you usually tag a topic to them. And so if someone has gone through the process of managing their preferences, if they are on a list that, for example, receives, like if it's a monthly newsletter list, but I've managed my topics, and even though my email is on that list and I've said I don't want to receive monthly newsletters, that email will not get sent to me because the topic is not ascribed to me as a user. So that's something to keep in mind as well. All right, so in order to customize that page that we saw that the end user sees, you click this lovely little edit button on the top right. And here we go. So you can add a brand logo, you can put in your brand name. That would usually be your company's name. Let's see. I forgot what I named my company here. So I think it was Zoho Adventures is now my company name. And again, you can customize the font. You can, make it whatever size you want. You can change the color, maybe a lovely dark green. So we'll save that. So now we got Zoho Adventures. You can add in some description. Again, customize all of your content. It'll be wonderful. You can customize the splash message that's there. You can go through and you can change the product logo, and you can give it a style. You can do a checkbox, or instead you could do a drop down with a yes, no. Lots and lots of different options available to you here. Just like that. The save preferences, you can either, you can change the text that's in that button. You can make it green. You can give it a text style. You can have the hyperlink be a different color. You can, all sorts of things. Let's see. Oops. Cancel. Go ahead. So yeah, it really gives you a lot of flexibility here to be able to be able to customize and brand that page, so that if they receive an email that they don't actually want and they click manage preferences, it can look exactly like you want it to look, and then they can still have the onus to be able to choose what kind of emails they want to receive. So that's the biggest thing about topics. Now you might be thinking, like, why do I have to go through all this rigmarole? And the long and the short of it is you don't have to. You can keep the default marketing topic that comes out of the box, and then just assign that marketing topic to all of your campaigns, and assign that marketing topic to all of your clients or your contacts that get put into campaigns, and just use the one topic. So you don't have to use this. However, a couple years ago, the EU passed what's called the GDPR, which is legislation around marketing and transparency about marketing, how they got your information, what kind of marketing you're going to be doing to them, and they have to be able, like, your end users have to be able to be choose their preferences and their style, and be able to unsubscribe. You can't hide the unsubscribe so that they can't access it at all, and that sort of thing. California went and passed very similar legislation. So it's something to keep in mind as you're expanding your marketing efforts and you're going to be using these things. It seems like this is the direction that most legislation is headed. So might as well jump on the bandwagon. And again, like I said, if you do not want to do that, you don't have to customize your topics. You can just use that marketing topic. All right, so that's it for topics. Any other questions, leave a comment. I'm happy to help, and I hope you're having a great day. Woggle woggle.